didn't want to give us nothing. So therefore, we got to go take it. I don't need to say no more. Give me my darn theme music.
Said they are who we thought they were. Oh, cook that nigga!
That wasn't supposed to happen, but welcome to the channel. Welcome to the DY Proj channel. I'm your guy, DY Fly. What it do? We are in week 9. We are at home at the Link. We are facing the Jacksonville Jaguars, aka the Jags. And that's exactly how we're going to treat them. And it's a 4 o'clock game. We will be rocking the Kelly Green unis, which is dope for 2 reasons. One, because the jerseys are just fire. They're just that piff. You know what I'm saying? And 2, it'll be LaShawn Shady McCoy Appreciation Day as he is inducted into the Eagles Ring of Honor, and it's justly deserved. And we're gonna get into all that, but I just want to start off. I want to spin the block on the topic of the week, and that is our quarterback, Jalen Hitman Hurts. That's right, that's his nickname now. You heard it here first. If you hear anybody use it, just tell them, give me my shout out, DY. That's the shout out to DY. If you start using it, shout me out. You know, just give me my props. But Hitman Hurts, he is the excellence of execution, and the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. We're still working on that third one, but you feel what I'm saying though. But I just want to start off with him and give him his props for just having the mental fortitude to overcome adversity and having thick skin. You know, the Philly sports media is not an easy thing to deal with, and playing in Philly. The fans, we have expectations, whether real or not. We have expectations to win. We know what good football looks like, and we could be hard at times, but at the same time, we can give you all the love. But I want to give Jalen Hurts just his props for overcoming adversity and having thick skin, because we've seen some other guys that would wilt under pressure, you know? But he's not cut from that cloth. He's cut from steel. You feel me? And one of the things that I wanted to bring up is the fact that I saw a stat on Twitter that I haven't seen anywhere else. It wasn't even a Twitter post. It was a comment under a post that Jalen Hurts, or I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield has thrown 7 interceptions in the past 3 games. I'm going to say this again. Baker Mayfield has thrown 7 interceptions in the past 3 games. Now, why is this important? Because 1, I haven't heard anything about it, right? And 2, I haven't heard the turnover machine moniker being put on him like they did Jalen earlier in the season. Now, a lot of people like myself who defend Jalen, we don't hate these other quarterbacks. When we start defending them and we're saying, well, what about Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence? We don't hate any of these other quarterbacks. We just want them to be graded on the same scale as Jalen. It seems like Jalen's the way that they try to try to grade his game, it's a whole lot harder than the leniency that these other guys get. Like Joe Burrow is still living off the remnants of that Super Bowl appearance. If that's the case, then cool. Jalen Hurts should have that same luxury. You know what I'm saying? We don't hate these other quarterbacks, but it seems like we just want a level playing field of evaluation. Jalen Hurts, every single pass, it seems like it's dissected, especially his incompletions. Then it turns into, when he has an incomplete pass, it turns into he's not seeing the field. He can't progress. He's not progressing through his reads properly. Then, you know, he's a glorified running back. Or they just straight up call him a running back. You know? And my thing is, he's graded on top 5 standards, but nobody wants to put him in the top 5 conversations. They barely want to put him in the top 10. Why is that? You know, Josh, what's his name? Josh Allen. This man, he's been at number 2 ever since he had his breakthrough season after he got Stephon Diggs. They have not moved him. He's been behind Patty, and rightfully so. If we're going off straight talent, who's the number 1 quarterback? You could put Josh Allen at that. But you're not going to do that because Patty's been whooping that ass for years now. You're not crazy. But he had 2 bad seasons coming into the league. He gets Stephon Diggs. Then they put him at number 2. He has his breakout season. They put him at number 2. Okay, fair. But he hasn't moved since. Joe Burrow, you know, it's a whole lot of things. You know, I see Emmanuel Acho, right? He says Jalen Hurts' success is because of AJ. Now, I don't agree with a lot of what Acho says. I think he just talks to keep the conversation going. And, you know, does he make some good points here and there? You know, I guess if you're into that type of thing, whatever. But he's him saying that Jalen Hurts is playing well because of AJ Brown. That's not fair. And now guys like, you know I'm not smart enough. I'm smart enough not to fall into that trap, because now it's pitting AJ against Jalen when their relationship is symbiotic. It's just like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. If you're going to say that about Jalen Hurts, why not say, okay, if Joe Burrow's balling, then it's because of Jamar Chase. They don't do that. That's all we're saying. So, you know, the national media, certain people, you can't pay attention to. The local media of Philly. Like, I've been a Philly fan my whole life. But since this year, I've just started doing YouTube. I've realized that, you know, they are, the local sports media is poisonous. It is poisonous. Like, you have to pay attention to these things just to hear where everybody's coming from. You know, I want to hear different perspectives just to see where the collective is at. And to hear the local sports media, they're not even poisonous sharks. They're just crabs, just trying to pick at you, and hopefully the poison seeps through your skin and just brings you down. And the guys at NBC Sports, they're okay. They're a little bit more rational. But the guys over at Jacob Sports, they just, I don't know what side of the bed they wake up on, but they are just finding anything to be mad about all the time. Like, I don't know where they found that Dan Sileo dude. We already know he's just there to just taint the whole situation. He's anti-Philly, period. So I don't know why he's on there, but he's only relevant because there's a weird market that hates Jalen, and he's eating right now. Fair enough. But anybody that associates with him, I don't deal with. I don't watch them. They're just bad. All right. Now, the one caveat to Jacob is Seth Joyner. I was praying so hard that Seth would leave them this year and go somewhere else. But I like Seth. But even the poison got to him by him sending that tweet about, he's gone as far as he could defend Jalen on that pass to Kenny Gainwell. And my thing is, we can't do that, especially when when these quarterbacks aren't being graded on the same level. We can't do that. I watch a lot of the Philly content creators, and they do a wonderful job of covering the team. I had to sit here and listen to one of the better people call Jalen Hurts a turnover machine when he was struggling. And the thing is, I established over here, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because the same people who made the term turnover machine, they established the term getting boat raced whenever somebody gets blown out. I don't associate with that. All right. Nah, boat racing, nah, I don't do that. But those are the same people. But yet, turnover machine, that doesn't get applied to Baker Mayfield. Like I said, he's thrown 7 interceptions in the past 3 games. Patty Mahomes, now Patty, he has a lot of cachet, but 6 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, what do you call that? Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback in the month of October that hasn't had a turnover. But yet people are so quick to talk about what he does wrong instead of highlight what he does right. And that's our problem. And to give him props, because my man is balling right now. So that's all I got to say about that. To the game, there's not much to cover on that. I expect a beatdown. Dougie P, he has a homecoming. He has a homecoming beating waiting for him, and we're going to give it to him, okay? This might be his last game as a Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. And we will oblige. Now, I don't want to give this team any life. I want us to come out the gate hitting and scoring touchdowns. That's it. I don't like the coach from was it Remember the Titans, when he said, I don't want them to get another yard. That's how I want our defense playing like that. Now, I did see that Brian Thomas Jr., he might play. He's a game time decision, as well as Travis Etienne. But that's desperation. It smells of desperation to me, But I'm not going to go too much into this game. I expect us to play like we did last game and beat them down. And that's about it. I just want to see the consistency from both sides And I want Kenny Gainwell, the two things. I want Kenny Gainwell to get a little bit more touches. Hopefully we can sit our starters like Saquon by the third quarter or by the fourth quarter. And so we can preserve some of his legs for the playoffs. And two, I don't want Cooper DeJean returning punts. Now, we didn't worry about this last game because the Bengals did not punt. So it was out of sight, out of mind. But I don't want Cooper DeJean returning punts. Hopefully they sign somebody or they assign that to somebody else. I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully Sidney Brown gets some playing time. I want to see him knock somebody out. Other than that, and Jahan Dotson. I want to see him get involved a little bit. Other than that, LaShawn McCoy, he is going into the Ring of Honor, and it's well-deserved. I remember when we first drafted him, and I seen him play, and he's out there, he's shaking or whatever, but he's holding the ball out, and I'm like, dang, he gonna fumble, yo. He gonna fumble. And the first time he fumbled, I was like, see, there you go. But he never really fumbled like that. And he was a baller. He got over 2,000 yards one season, over 20 touchdowns another season, over 1,600 yards in one season. He has over 1,100 yards or 11,000 yards and over 75 touchdowns, I believe, on the ground. So after this Ring of Honor, he should be entering to the Hall of Fame in the next, I would say, 5 years or so. So we should be on the lookout for that. But shout out to Shady, the closest thing we've seen to Barry Sanders since, and he is deserved, 2-5 cut on a dime. We got us one. He's definitely one of my favorite players of all time. Definitely one of my favorite running backs, and I'm so glad that he played for the Eagles and not anybody else. That's pretty much it. But yeah, man. Again, shout out to Jalen,
It's my quarterback.
That's what it is. But hopefully they play well. Hopefully they can keep it going. And I'll holla.